everybody, and welcome to our Overly Bright Twitch channel. Now you're here with your toes on somewhat tepid waters. I guess we better introduce ourselves. We're the Bloodthirsty Puppets. I am Blood Puppets, and I am thankfully not running this game today. We are playing Dungeons and Dragons. We are doing this very cool thing called Wilben and Ruse. Hashtag Wilben and Ruse. Team Ruse forever, however. Where Skaggeth is DMing our crew over here, and I'm going over to his channel after this one to DM his crew. All set in the same world, 2 GMs, 2 channels, 2 crews. Way too much. But it's going to be cool and really fun. Let's go around and introduce ourselves, and then I'm going to hand everything over to Skag. I am playing a elf named Crescent, and she is a rogue. Cool. Terracon.
I am playing a half-elf named Wilben, and he's a cleric.
And the other one left on our crew?
I am playing Boris the dwarf, who is almost as good as he thinks he is.
He's definitely something. And yeah, that leaves it over to Skag. That's Team Ruse.
Yeah, cool. So the concept and idea is, as noted, two kind of teams that works for a very highly official deep inside the Waterdeep courts. She, as many of the others, keeps her persona and who she is hidden behind masks and several different officials that kind of do her bidding in different tiers. And as we have been talking about it before, maybe these groups are tier 5 or so. And the main part of it is that each grouping have their own sort of elements. Ruse is more for the stealth, never get noticed or ever be seen. They might have more knowledge about things that happens or things that are about to happen, more so than Bellum that rides the wave of taking care of business. We have seen that Ruse have probably been more in the startup, but as now there are 3 members, you have done a small mission or a bigger mission or whatever. So Crescent is gonna go for a description of what it can be and kind of throw ideas back and forth. And that mission have been something that have taken you a little bit of time to do, and afterwards you have basically done some R&R or needed to lay low or whatever have happened due to the fact now you are about a week off, and you have gotten back to roughly where we see on the picture, the high road, which is one of the several greater streets that run through Waterdeep. And to kind of give a little bit of a description of Waterdeep, it's one of the greatest cities around here, housing so many people, not so diverse as you might think. A lot of humans is the main, but we have also dwarves and elves and kind of slowly trimming it down to just a few percentile. And the major factor, the ones who kind of control everything after the big war that kind of overthrow the officials back then, those that were open and very seen, made it so that the courts today are, as said, very, very hidden behind the masks. So what you basically see is this different agendas, lobbyism that tries to sway other people, and a very few knew who everyone is. Even if you are a lord or a lady, you might know a couple of them, and you try to scheme and push those to the votes you need. So there is a lot of this deceit and back and forth. So each lord and lady have their own sort of groups that will work for them. You do see both brutes and as Ruse, more sneaks and stealths, but also spy masters and assassins. So there is a plethora of different kind of groups that works and in tandem work together. Not everyone agrees with each other, but they know that they're doing something for the greater, not good, but for the better of what they are as a whole. Some teams do want to progress to get more. Some are content where they are. And that kind of goes as well with people. Some people do want more and try to find other means to get somewhere. As been with Ruse, you guys have been together for a while. Some a little bit more than the others, and some tries just find ways to get more personalized and accustomed to how you do stuff. So at times you find yourself not really working well, but you kind of stumble a little bit, but you always get the job done. The group that you have had contacts with is a group that I'll send you guys probably. Let's just show it for you guys. Sicarius, the Assassins of Serpents. And as so, the Assassins of Serpents, or Serpents of Assassins, they work for the same lady as you. However, they work only with contracted kills. That's the only thing they do. And they are always run by a single female, and the rest are males who work very efficient and have had a very good track record. And you know that they have been very, let's say, cold and haven't really been connecting with any of the other teams. So you know that they are one of those that could pose as a threat at some time. But at this point, you haven't really been able to talk to them. But those are a group that you know of. There are a spy group that is a part of you, but they haven't really been open for any sort of interactions. And through each, you will be able to kind of pry a little bit and send some sort of almost like a side quest, side mission, where you could send it out so that you could maybe find out more about them until the next time you get back to the tavern. So if you want to know more about the assassin, you could always ask someone, maybe the handler. One person that you have been talking quite a lot with, and he is probably one of those that either got married early and didn't get to go out with everyone else. So now the bartender or the innkeeper, he is actually one of those that tries to live the good years from you guys, from all of the other kind of teams. He doesn't really get the core facts, as he shouldn't know everything, but he do want to know, like any good kill story or fun little thing that happened on your mission kind of deal. He tries to just get the good stories and live through you guys and the others as well. So that is also a person that kind of goes well in hand and someone you can always talk to. And will probably sit down by your tables at times and listen in. Otherwise, your handler Mark, you should have him in your inventory or place a Ruse so you can kind of see him. Otherwise, that is the Potion. And as so, Crescent, do you know, or do you want to throw it around what you have been doing as a past mission?
We had a vague discussion the other day between the three of us that the kind of the missions that we're doing recently is when Boris recently joined us, he had to go into a place and forge some documents. So we had to make sure that he went in there. He was assigned to us to help us do this job. He obviously thinks we were assigned to him, but that's not the case. And we had an interesting time kind of dealing with him, so much so that we decided we needed to keep him with us because he's just nothing but a liability. So yeah, that's kind of the mission that we were discussing before, is that we've kind of just taken him in. And that's kind of probably one of the most recent-ish things that we've done. I mean, we've been working with him for a little while now, but the thing is always still the same. He's been assigned to us. If he goes anywhere else, he could be major trouble for all of us. So we keep a hold of him.
It sounds like I'm much, much higher pitching than you. You can't barely hear you.
It's okay. You didn't miss much. Yeah, I mean, I say it's just a case of us just going into a place recently and forging some pretty interesting documents, some trade documents about some taxes that may or may not have been paid. I think is essentially what we were thinking about. We also, because he's not here at the moment, we decided he did something fairly stupid and got himself hurt, falling down some stairs.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Who was it that actually fallen? Did the falsifications of documents?
That'll be Boris.
That's why he was assigned to our group, because we could get in there, but we don't really do that part.
Yeah.
He's the one that does that part.
He's got the skills that we don't have.
So
in
this case, the mission kind of revolved around him as a point. Let's say that as he's away now, who will want to do, or we can wait him out for a rolleroo and see how it went down.
So just a D20 or?
Yeah, either you do it or Boris will do it. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, that's what I wanted you to do.
Oh my god. You guys suck.
I really do suck today.
Nailed it.
There we go.
This is why I should never be rolling, ever.
So, due to a kind of a lower score on a D20, what do you guys want to have as a small flaw to your kind of deal or falsification of documents? What happened that wasn't really thought out?
Could we sign it as the wrong person?
No, not we. You. You're the one that was signing this document. You're the one that was making this document.
So can we sign it as the bloke's son instead of the father? So we put it down as junior instead of senior.
Yep, that sounds fine. We'll do that.
Yeah,
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So you did a small miss and kind of as you're walking away from there, everything went well and you probably talked about it. Did you guys write down this or that or whatever it was? And you basically mentioned that it was a senior or a junior, and Boris went, "What do you mean, senior? Wasn't it junior or something like that?"
No. You've got to tell me whether you put the S or the J down. That's the most important thing. J or S.
Well, it was a squiggle, and it certainly had like a little loopy bit at the bottom, so I think it'll be all right.
You put down junior, didn't you?
Yeah, it's a small possibility. But, you know, like I said, it was quite a squiggly signature, so I doubt anyone's going to look at it too closely. A J and S look pretty similar.
No, they're too far things apart.
Nah, it's all right.
One of them has a straight line, the other one doesn't.
Well, it depends how flourishy you do it, doesn't it? Bit of calligraphy, and anything looks like anything.
No.
No, mate. You're just nothing but a liability right now. I mean, what the fuck are we supposed to do with that? I mean, I've got to go back to our handler, Mark, and tell him that you've done fucked up. He's going to be well pissed.
Well, how far are we? Can we go back there and change it?
I know, can we?
Yeah, you can try to redeem your mistakes. So if you want to redo your mission that you have done or kind of correct it, you can take one of your skills, be it stealthy, and kind of go by, I did a stealthy, whatever. It can be like investigation, whatever you want to do, and roll with that proficiency.
What I'd like to do is, basically, if I can get back to it, I'm going to basically draw over the J with a fresh line of ink and then just smudge it slightly, so it looks like someone, when they were signing it, just caught it with the edge of a finger or something and just smudged it. So I'm going to use deception to attempt to do that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you actually take a little bit of your kit of falsification tools, so to speak, like a small white little cloth that you kind of damp a little bit around it and suck up the ink that is your original writing, and you make it really good. You're proud of yourself. It's almost like you want to run back to the balcony where the rest are and kind of wave it around. See.
I'll resist. I'll just brag once I'm back. It's fine.
Yeah.
Look, mate, you can't brag dick all. We had to go back again. Not only do we have to do this mission once, we had to do it twice.
Well, if you'd given me the proper information the first time round, it wouldn't have been an issue, would it?
I did. How difficult is the father? The father is not called Junior, otherwise he'd be the kids.
Well, at some point, isn't it?
A father can actually be called Junior.
Yeah, exactly. It's only a name, isn't it? At some point, he had a father, so he was the junior.
Yeah, but now he's the senior because he's known as senior. That's why we just put the word down. See, I don't know how many times I need to repeat that single word for you.
Well, none now, but at least once is required to get the proper information.
Yeah, but you need to do it twice to get it done right. Oh my god.
Well, if I'd known about it first, it wouldn't be an issue. But anyway, let's get out of here before anyone comes across us.
Fucking idiot.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So you guys basically go back and you want to deliver your mission that you have done and update your handler and such. And you get to roughly where we do have your marker there. The place is called Dripping Dagger. And there we have it. And it is this room. So looking at it, you can blow the picture up if you want to. It's a very cozy old inn. And it's been around for ages, basically. Laying on its greater part where everyone walks. At one time, Volo, in his travels, picture like Yelp, he kind of gave this a 4 out of 5. So people know about it, and this place have turned more into your lady's own inn, basically. So everyone here is either supporting her fully or working for her completely. So here, it's not needed to be overly discreet, but everyone is at anyway. So there are like small booths where you can go into a little bit of a whisper mode. On the second floor, there are smaller rooms meant for being, if you wanted to sleep over, but people do tend to rent them and do business and contracts and such. You do know that your handler have one room permanently, as many other do have. There are several rooms on the second floor. And as you walk in, who will go first and kind of describe how you look?
I'll stride in first. I think it's only befitting my status.
Yeah, sure.
We let him do it because it's probably just easier.
Yeah.
So how do your character look? Describe your character.
He's standing just 4.5 foot tall. He's wearing his standard like dark clothing. His beard's got some braids in it, and he strolls into the pub. As he comes through the door, he glances to his left because that's usually his cursory seat, because he likes to sit there so that he can keep an eye on who's entering and leaving the establishment without immediately being seen by anyone. So if he decides that he doesn't want someone to see him, he has a chance to kind of duck down, put a hood up or something before being observed. But he's going to sit. If his normal seat's clear, he's going to turn right and head towards the bar.
Yeah. I mean, I believe so. The tavern keeper, Filiere, a older, great kind of beard, shines up as you lot walks in, knowing that you probably have something to spill, even if it's fabricated or whatever it is. He will get some sort of tale, so he kind of starts cleaning up a mug, a small glass, or whatever you guys are drinking, and kind of, sweeps off whatever crumbs or anything that lied on your table that you ordinarily sit by. So in comes the next. Who would that be?
That would be the muted one.
I am still muted. Yes. Sorry. Keep on forgetting about that. That would be me. Yes. I walk in, half elf, light skin, black hair, green eyes, elderly, getting into his late years, 124 now, about 5'10" height. He's got a chain shirt, scars all over riddled his body. Been a lot in combat, big greatsword on his back, tattered cloak. Just kind of walks in, sits right next to... I've forgotten his name already.
Boris.
Well, Team Rose, showing real teamwork here. We even know each other's names.
Yeah, of course.
Good start. So Crescent, the same for you.
Crescent walks in. She is an elf. She's a high elf. She has long flowing blonde hair, but currently that's all hidden behind a kind of large, kind of dark green cloak. She has a mask on which covers the top half of her face because she doesn't want to be recognized for who she is. And she looks about where her companions are sitting, and she just veers off, making her way towards, I assume, wherever Mark is. I mean, the instant she walks in, she'd be scanning to see who is here and to see if any of the exits and entrances that she's used to normally seeing are still available as exits and entrances, or throwing people out windows, those sort of things.
Yeah. You probably, as this is a bottom floor, a upper floor, and the upper floor has several of these fenced balconies almost. As you're entering up the stairway, you can kind of glare down to people. There is a long walkway to all the rooms that has a small fence. People kind of lean on and kind of look down and gives like, yeah, I'm right there, and walk down or wait for someone. You do see that the room that Mark has as his own, basically, is open. The door is open, and you see that he is walking about in the room, basically, picking up stuff and just rearranging. So you know he is at his room. You see that the rest of your team is basically sitting down, and the keep, or the whatever is his name now, Filiere, the bar owner, he is kind of putting both hands on their table where they are sitting, and basically starting up what you want, the usuals, and starting interacting with them. And you see that a couple of the family, or you haven't really gotten the work around how he does it, but he has a lot of family members. They work for him, and they are starting to pick up whatever they are ordering, basically. So you're making your way up there, or do you want to wait it out and see what he's doing upstairs?
I want to keep an eye on Mark. I'm gonna like walk towards like the staircase, but I want to like make my way over there slowly, like I'm trying to dodge people with too many drinks, sort of thing. Even though I could just like barge through him, like I don't care. I just want to keep an eye on him and see what he's kind of up to at the moment. I'm not particularly worried about the two guys behind me, because I trust Wilben to deal with Boris if he gets out of hand. So
yeah. You walk with caution and with a small intent. So you have a very determined kind of pacing. As you're walking up, you see this classic "we need to meet now," where you're passing a person you might have heard about, might have seen before, and it's a female, and let's show that to you. And you know her by Erin, and she is basically a thief, and a very good one too. A known cat burglar, one of those like nightmare for any sort of museum or anything that is worth taking, and she gets it. She takes it, sells it to the highest bidder, and as you're passing, or as you're kind of locking eyes, or a little bit like we know each other a little bit, you do see that she has a hefty kind of pouch of coins in her hand, and she is just holding them, and she has this kind of happy state to her, like she has done well. And you probably know her more than she knows you. She knows that you work for this lady. She doesn't. But she might know who you are, but she doesn't know who your name or anything like that. So as you're passing, her motion will probably just be that she will take a little bit of a sidestep, so you have your walk without being interrupted, and she kind of just slips by. And this is probably one of those that could probably outmove you, and probably not the same kind of caliber as you guys in power, but she doesn't really need to. She just vanishes, basically. She has a very good background in alchemy. So she has like these flash bombs and all sort of smoke bombs and all that to her disposal. Nothing that she has said openly or anyone really knows, but you know, you have kind of figured it out, even though she tries to hide it well. So if you don't do anything, she will just kind of sidestep away. Doesn't mean she has been to your handler per se, but someone on the upper floor.
I think I'll just give her a nod of respect, and then I'm making my way up towards Mark.
Yeah, she kind of makes this half nod, kind of just giving in that she recognizes you, and you're giving that kind of respect or acknowledgement. And as you're walking up, you basically see that she's doing like an Assassin's Creed thing and just vanish into the crowd. And she just is gone. And you walk up, and as you're coming to the corner for the long kind of walkway towards the room where Mark is, you basically see that he is walking out and closing the door, and he is locking it, which is to be expected. So either you approach or you wait and he will pass, kind of deal.
Oh, I'll have to approach, because he's my boss. I probably should actually speak to him. You are there, Mark?
Yeah, you see how he kind of locks up, and you see this small subtle hint that he kind of stops locking the lock as you approach, or you can call him out, and he locks it definitely, and puts the key in a small pocket, and he turns, and he is one of those that kind of gives off this not really creepy, but creepy way. And he has a very dragged out tone in his voice, and one of those that kind of you want to speed up the discussion a little bit. I'm on a clock here, but you can't kind of force it out either. So he has a smaller book, and you know that a lot of the pages have different sorts of contracts and scrolls, depending on what kind of part of the book he opens up. So he starts walking up to you, and he gives this small smile, almost like a not even showing, which is creepy.
Yeah, this dude's creepy. I'm going to make sure that when I actually speak to him, it won't be like so it can't be seen from down below, because it looks like the corridor goes around and is hidden from the main area. So that's the area that I would be waiting for him to come to me.
Yeah, there are columns, and you can kind of stand behind one of these pillar columns, and you're basically in between one of the columns and the walkway and the actual doors or the walls. So you're standing semi-hidden. You can't see from the lower part up. The only way to see you is if you actually are on that walkway. And he comes... Huh?
Behind the moose head.
Yeah. You see two kind of legs underneath. So he walks up, and he looks first down, not like on your shoes or anything, but kind of gives off this smug way of him, and he leans back and puts one hand on the railing, and as he's looking up, he's really giving a smallest eyes, and he I think he has like a short sword or something, right? He has a short sword, so he puts the other hand on the actual handle as he's looking up at you. Not like I'm gonna draw it, but that's where he keeps it. And he says basically, so the time have been a couple of days, a week.
Yeah. Well, it's done.
Without any sort of problem, I think. Hope, yes.
You really want to know, or do you just want to know that it's done?
Done is my preferred method. Yes.
Good. Then all you need to know is it's done. It's dealt with.
And as he's kind of looking towards your group, even though he can't see them, he kind of gives the emotion that he's addressing them. And he's kind of dropping a little bit of your contact. So it works now. You don't need more. 3 is a little bit a small group.
Nah, 3's... We got to train the new boy.
Right.
Let me deal with the new boy first.
How's he going? Vlad.
Boris.
Brim. Right.
Boris. He's full of shit. But he's not actually half bad. Just needs a bit more seasoning.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
we'll keep him. We'll try not to kill him, but we'll keep him.
if you start from the shit, he can't be worse, can he?
Oh no, I think he could. I think he genuinely could get worse. I think it may be a personal mission of him just to annoy the fuck out of us, but yeah, we'll keep him. He's an odd one, but we'll keep him. So you got anything else for us?
Two things.
Two?
One little bit of own request, interest. Another more official. So, two to be taken care of within this month. As we were starting up, that would be no problem.
Well, anything that's official like, yeah, it's not a problem, but personal request, Mark? Really?
As a house are built, everyone needs to know the foundation holds. So we need to know where our legions are, for your sake too, of course.
Well, our allegiance is, well, lady who pays us money. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like you and all, but depends on what your favour is. I mean, if you're going to go ask us to do something we ain't equipped to do, I've got to say no, because, you know, I've got to look after my boys, but...
No, it's nothing like that.
Well, worst I can do is say no, so lay it on us, dude.
I know that Leah, who is the phase, I don't know really where we do have the Sicarius order, really. If they are working with other contracts, that would be bad.
Is that the personal favour or the official one?
More personal. For your sake too, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, we can look into it.
They are in the town somewhere.
Well, if anyone's going to find them, it's going to be us three. So, alright, we'll look into it.
The other one, more a strange request, but what she says is what we do.
Yeah, no arguing.
There is some sort of ledger, as I've heard, filled with riddles of orders, who's getting what, payments, ledger. That ledger would be something that Our Lady really wants to look into.
All right. Any details on it? Where to find it? That sort of thing.
That's the trickier part.
Ain't it always?
The Lord that actually have it knows that the ledger is, of course, something out of the ordinary. You don't keep ledgers these days. So our last note from those that carry news, and he kind of means the spies that he uses, they said that his own personal encased tomb of all his family's relatives and such, somewhere deep within.
A minute. So he's holding this ledger. This weird ledger.
Hiding.
He's hiding this weird ledger in a mausoleum, in someone's, like, in their, like, family crypt, in their tomb.
Yes.
Well, that's
Morbid, but a good cover.
yeah, not a problem. We can deal with that. Do you happen to have a name that we want to go by?
I'll give you some details. And he opens up the book and hands you a small slip, not even a paper, but just a slip, where the name has been noted down and the place. You're basically going to go in through a sewer and make your way through it, or to it. And he also says that, so you do have the standard pay to collect. I put it in the bar if I weren't here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I trust you. I know you're good for it. Alright, so want this done within the month, or do you want it done a bit earlier? Because we do some R&R, but I mean, to be fair, if I can keep that kiddo running ragged, I will.
Sounds like you have a bit of training to do.
Yeah. Nothing like on-the-job training, though. Alright, we'll get it done. What about the other business with Leah? How quickly do you need that investigated?
It would be, well, it would be rather important as she's here now.
What, in the bar?
Nah, in town. Somewhere.
Alright. I'll see what we can do then.
Well, I need some fresh air.
I'll step here for a little bit and let him go, and then I'll come down afterwards and join my boys.
Yeah, you kind of watch him as he's walking without anyone really looking at him. Mark, that is, down the stairs and just walks out. You're guessing, probably followed him some time ago, and you saw that he has several locations that he visit and probably do a lot of different tasks for other groups. Yeah, so he just vanished from the scene.
I'll go find out wherever the hell my boys have gone to.
Yeah, they have, due to the fact they've been here several times, they have their own sort of table. And you do see that the bar owner, Filier, he is not sitting, but if there were a chair here for him, but the only chair here is for you, and he don't really dare to sit in that one. So he is standing with one hand on the table. And so for you, Boris and Wilben, have you described anything of what you've been doing, or do you make like a wild story.
You said that the barkeeper was a fan of stories, wasn't he?
Yeah. He picks up anything that is kind of interesting.
In that case, I think while the boss has been upstairs talking, I'll have been spinning a wildly fabricated story of Wilben being jumped by cutthroats in an alleyway, to which point I threw myself valiantly in and helped him fight them off. And it was a terrifying, dangerous ordeal, but due to my heroic intervention, the day was saved and we both made it out alive.
So, yeah, Crescent, you're coming down to basically hearing, oh, so there were how many? 8 of them? 9 at least. Oh,
at least a dozen, yeah.
That's impressive. Impressive.
I look at Wilben with a face of, not that he can see much of my face, but like, we've probably known each other enough, you can just tell from my body language, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, let the little one have his time. He doesn't have it that often.
Mm-hmm.
He's still young. He's got time to learn.
Shaking my head, I'll go sit down. Keeping you entertained then, are they, Phil?
Yes. Really, I mean, a dozen cutthroats. You can't make that up. I mean, that's made my day much richer. So, anything from the menu or anything that you want to drink, maybe I'm happy to serve up anything from.
We'll have 3 decent stews and a couple of mugs of ale. I'll put it on my tab. Celebrating, job well done, guys. Well,
several words, the usual.
Yeah, we'll have the usual.
And a brandy.
Don't get the boy a brandy. When you deserve a brandy, I'll buy you a brandy. But today is not that day, my friend.
All the cutthroats, a dozen cutthroats. How often does that happen?
Never.
No. Just the usual, please.
And as he walks away, there is a smaller box, which is basically your payment. And per usual, you're getting 100 gold each in that payment.
Sweet. I'll basically take the box in a single move and then just divvy everything out and pass it out to them. Holy shit. Sorry, I was just reading my passive perception. It's automatically worked out. I'm like, oh, holy crap, that's much higher than I thought it was. Sorry, Cam.
Yeah, everything's worked out on the sheet. It's awesome.
I know. So much easier.
Yeah, there isn't that much calculating. Yeah, everything kind of dies out, and what the scene basically makes is that the surrounding tones down, so everything is just centered around you guys as you're going forth with your whooping passive 19. You're basically not seeing anyone watching you. You're sitting by your own in a corner looking at the door.
Mm-hmm. Right, boys. So we can take a bit of an R&R, or we can start something up. We've got about a month to do it, but maybe rather knock them out quick and be done with it.
Yep, then we can have a longer R&R.
Exactly.
Do it tonight and tell them it took us 30 days to do it. I like it.
No, we're honest with Mark. We don't fuck with Mark.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been
All
good to
right, you're
us.
cool.
Well, he's been good to us, and he's letting you live. I mean, he said, I'll tell you what, Crescent, I don't know about that kid. You can just kill him if you need to. And I was like, why, mate? He may be a knob, but he's ours, and we'll keep hold of him for a while. So, just let you know, we don't fuck with Mark.
He keeps us fed. He keeps us money in our pockets.
Keeps Laura far back. Don't
Exactly.
mess with Mark. Mess with Mark, you mess with us. So, we've got a mission from her ladyship. Got to go find a ledger. Your favourite thing. Got to go find a ledger, and I assume retrieve it. Slight issue, kind of inside someone's mausoleum, but I think we've got this handled.
So
Won't
there's
be
a
the first
ledger
time.
inside a mausoleum.
Yeah.
It's a weird place to keep a book.
Well, I don't know about you, but I don't think I want to go read inside a mausoleum. It's a bit morbid, so it's probably a good place to hide it.
Bit cold and damp though, isn't it? Got mouldy.
Don't ask me, mate. I don't know why people keep ledgers anymore. But still. So that's the mission from her ladyship. Got about 30 days to, scope it out, do the deed, return back with it. Although Mark's also thrown us a bit of a side gig, if you're interested.
If there's money involved, I'm always interested.
Yeah, you heard of these serpent things, serpent assassins. I'm actually looking around and make sure I don't raise my voice too loud, but I'm not going to whisper because that's just stupid.
Oh, I've heard stories. Never met one.
Well, rumour is that a lady in charge is around, and she might be taking contracts that aren't strictly in line with what the lady wants. Taking contracts from other people, so we've been asked to go check it out. But a bit on the quiet, a bit on the sly. It's just a hunch Mark has. So,
Who is this person?
her name's Leah something. And once I open up the document, I'll tell you what her name is. Leah Norwood. It's about all I know about her, really. But apparently they're around here and about, so maybe we could go find her. Find out what they're doing, seeing if they're, on the up and up.
Is it a good idea to go and poke snake assassins?
Well, you don't traditionally just go poke them. You do what we do here in our little group. No, indicate me and Wilburn's like, you're fucking sneaky about it and you don't get caught. So, you just do it subtly. You observe, you hunt, you plan, and then execute if you're told to. But we just need to keep an eye on her and grab all what information we can. So, do not engage the enemy. Get it? Alright, so that's side mission. Take it if you want. I've got to go do it because, Mark's a good contact and I don't actually want to piss him off. So, you guys are welcome to join.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, this mausoleum gig sounds pretty easy. Why don't we knock that one out first, then go and talk to these snake people?
Alright. Sounds like a good one. I mean, we can either go by the cover of darkness, which, let's face it, we're probably going to do. So we can eat up, have a couple of hours just chilling out, and then go check it out later tonight.
We can always deliver a Wilby here. Say he's one of their restless dead that's wandered out his grave. I mean, look at him, covered in scars. Old.
Yet can still determine between junior and senior.
Sick burn.
You forfeit damage.
Corone gave me an advantage, but I don't think Corone will hate me if I ask if I can give it to Terracon, because I was fucking sick.
You can flip him how you want, I would say.
Terracon, you have advantage. I'm giving you the advantage that Corone brought me, because I was just too sick. That was fucking beautiful.
That's nice.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to give it to you,
Thank you.
am I? I guess we eat, drink, make merry.
I will make merry. I think by the end of the night, there's probably going to be 20 of these cutthroats in the alley. I'll retell the story a few times.
If he's, talking the talk, I'm going to go probably sit on the other side of the bar, so that people don't spend time looking at me because I'm near him.
Oh, yeah.
It depends if people are buying me drinks to hear this story again. They don't have to be exaggerated sufficiently.
I don't know. I don't think she wants to hang around and find out if you start telling more and more tales. I'm like, she needs to try and stay hidden. That's what Ruse is. She's just going to go sit on the other side of the bar. She'll keep an eye on you, and keep an eye on the door and everything, but yeah, she's going to go drink and eat on her own on one side, unless Wilburn joins her. But it's up to you.
Well, yeah. I would. Just leave old Boris to do his long tales of bull crap.
Yeah.
It's social stealth, blending in and making yourself sound like a blackguard so no one believes you can do anything.
You're making yourself a center of attention.
Yeah, but center of attention for nothing and all stealthy, and also nowhere near where we were tonight. So, therefore, like, you know, if anyone's questioning around, like, well, who was around the town side? Well, not him. He was beating sailors up down the docks, or being beaten by sailors, you know.
And I'm pretty sure the guards would get any information of like that stuff. So, yeah, they won't just turn around and say, "Yeah, that's false. He wasn't there at all."
Okay. We're gonna go eat and drinks like on our own off to one side, and we'll just keep an eye on Boris. It's like, I'm actually just keeping an eye on him, making sure that he's okay, make sure no one actually goes to stab him. If they do, I'll take him down, but other than that, I'll leave him to his social stealth.
So Wilben and Crescent will be together.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're not sulking in each corner and looking at each other.
No.
We're friends.
We're going to be just sitting there, kind of mulling over a drink. Considering we're going to do something later on tonight, I don't really want to drink too much.
We're nursing half, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like just sharing looks of like, who the fuck is this kid?
A young whippersnapper.
Yeah. He's got potential, but he needs to learn to shut his gob, I think.
Learn. People like that can't usually learn stuff.
Well, I'll put enough beatings on them, they'll learn. I mean, you
True.
know I didn't get our scars for nothing.
That is true.
Do you guys basically want to take the night and take the day to do stuff, or do you want to go straight off into the night with the mission at hand?
Straight off into the night, man. We'll wait till like 1 in the morning, and then we'll go. We'll go start skulking this thing out.
I want to go and find out where this mausoleum is, because if it's something we can just go straight in and nick this thing, then that's good. But if it's going to be under guard, we'll need to figure out which.
We'll probably group back up about midnight or something.
Mm-hmm.
I've got given a tip by Mark that maybe we'll go through sewers. You've done sewer work before. Makes a bit of sense.
Fine.
Yes, but the city is very big. The sewers are very big.
Yeah. We'll just...
Do you know how many mausoleums are down there?
Well, I don't know. That's why I got this information about going through sewers, and we'll find a mausoleum in next place.
Well, if we get near there above ground, then drop down below for the last bit. That would be the
Exactly.
the best.
That's the plan we want to do, because we spend less time in the sewers. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would see in the dark. All of us can? See in the dark?
I can, yeah.
I think every one of you can. There's no humans amongst you.
Nope.
Yeah, and we can just go down there and wander through close as we can. Spend less time in the sewers, which is great, but as soon as we get close to it, we're all good. Right, let's
Sounds good.
get your shit, get going.
I would say the time is roughly around there, yeah. Going towards somewhere around 1 a.m. or a little bit less, maybe half too. However, you guys regroup, and in the little slip that you got from Mark, basically states a specific entry to the sewers and a place where you could go to. You walk to that place and you see that in a back alley, very kind of, wouldn't really note the whatever is it called, manhole or whatever it is that you pull up. The thing is, it's kind of filled with garbage and shit everywhere here. It's like one of the trashier alleyways, which basically makes it so that everything here is really down low. The houses around here connects at a later point to the Lord house. So you know that you are at this point fairly close to it, but yeah, he actually made it so that it's a little bit away from his establishment or his home. Is there something you do want to just pop down, or do you want to do anything kind of looking at it?
So we're currently above ground, yeah?
Yeah, we haven't ventured down yet. It's
there
basically
any,
like one of the things that you have to pull up, and hopefully there is a ladder that kind of goes down.
Are there any guards patrolling or anything?
No, you're guessing that this is one of the places that he has made with the intention that you wouldn't find it. If we would put guards here, it would kind of be suspicious.
Okay. Cool. And is there any kind of traffic at all? Is like any people moving around out of pubs or anything like that, or is it a really quiet area?
It's a really quiet area. There are some windows to residential area, houses on one side. The other ones are basically just walls, kind of going off to the Lord that you are breaking entry to. So this is one of the side parts of his own domains. So you're guessing while you venture in, you'll actually enter into his own property underneath. So it kind of connects to it. And you're guessing that the museum is built underneath his home, but there is different ways to actually go in.
Okay, cool.
All right.
I'm gonna check the actual manhole, see if it's got anything there securing it down or anything. Can I see it, or?
Yeah, I mean, you see that you need some sort of tool to kind of pry it open with, a crowbar, a small peg to kind of nick into the joints and kind of pry from that part. So you can.
Blade.
How's that?
A broken blade?
Yeah, it's going to be more and more broken now if you use that one.
I think I might have. I've got a Dungeoneer's pack that might
bunch
contain
of,
a
like,
crowbar.
thieves'
Yeah, I've got a
tools, right?
crowbar.
Come on,
Oh,
we've got
use that
thieves' tools. They've got to have some shit like that in there for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dungeoneer's pack has a crowbar in it, so I have a crowbar.
If you do have thieving tools and such, you can also look for traps.
Oh yeah.
You can
Yeah,
do-
I have thieves' tools as well.
Yeah, I'll look for some traps. So would that be perception, boss, sleight of hand, stealth?
you roll on deceiving tools. That should be connected to your dexterity, I think.
Sure.
So it will be like
Should be under tools.
Yeah. So yeah, you actually see that there are several traps attached to it, and it will take some time to undo all the traps. What it is basically small slits, and as soon as you start to lift the lid open, it will shoot out small darts with poison. And these are kind of gnarly ones. You have seen them before. You have never used them. It's more like an assassin thing. There are not really darts, but there are these really thin kind of almost a hair. It will go straight into your skin and dissolve, basically. And it's coated in a lot of nasty poison. So it'll take you a couple of minutes at least to take all the traps out of the equation.
Can I do it without destroying those fibers?
I
want them.
Yeah, you could probably. Let's see how many of them. Yeah, you got 5 of them. You know that you need some sort of similar contraption to actually shoot them, in quotation, out. they are very
I have
thin.
far worse plans for these.
Yeah. And the coating that they do have, they need to be really inserted into the skin. So it won't really do much if you just lay them on or if you slap them on or whatever you do. You
How
need
about
to
poking them in
actually,
someone's eye?
yeah, or if that person eats the threads, so to speak, that works as well.
That was my other one.
Yeah, if you put it into a food or something. So after a couple of minutes, you basically find you have like a small clipper or whatever it's called. You can kind of nib to and drag them out. And you have one of these tools and you just have a smaller, let's say, box or something that you place them in. And you secure it and you give a go ahead with the crowbar to open up the place itself.
Cool.
And I'm guessing that is
Go for it,
Boris.
Hmm.
So Boris, make a strength check.
Is this to descend into the hole?
It's prying open the lid.
Right, okay. So I think I can use my... I think I get advantage if I use a crowbar, don't I?
Yeah.
If you're proficient in the tools.
I think,
Yeah, but this is an addition,
crowbar's not
not
a
a
tool,
tool.
thing. But that's what it does, which I'm going to need because my strength is pretty awful. Hey, 4 and a 3.
I'll give it
Yeah.
a go, seeing that the boy is useless.
Yeah, I'll kind of put it in and give it a bit of a wiggle, and then just look over at you and just like step back and just you'll go.
So,
So
12?
yeah, with your kind of realization that this is not what you are meant to do, it takes longer than needed to, and it's kind of like looking at a problem solving when you're not an electrician or whatever it is. You're kind of just looking at it. So I know I need to put that in and just pry it open, put some weight into it, but it doesn't do. Kind of stand on it and wiggle, trying to just get it to freaking move, and it doesn't. And it gets to the point where you three kind of just look at it. Are we giving up? And after a while, you kind of work together and get it open. And do you put the lid back? Huh?
Sorry. Should have let the person actually with the strength maybe do it, but
I think after finishing this, I'm probably going to give you the crowbar rather than putting it back in my mouth because
I can take a crowbar. I'm
I
not
mean,
going to say no to a crowbar.
He wanted to give it a try. We need to find out what his strengths and his weaknesses are. It's trial, he's got to learn. Well, we've got to learn what his strengths and weaknesses are, and it's clearly not, strength, so...
That's very
That
true.
is true.
It's not mine either, but I did way better. Well. Can we put the lid back in such a way that we can easily push it back off again?
It's much easier to actually lift it up in a way. You don't really need to yank it up and use that kind of part. So it's easier to be to kind of walk the ladder up and push your whole strength while you're using the ladder. So you can put it back on, which you do, and then you climb down, I guess. The ladder is much sturdier than you were to expect, but maybe you expected it to. It's made of metal. It looks very kind of new and taken care of. It's not rusted, or it's not like filled with moss or anything. So either it's been changed out, or it's one of those that they use frequently, and probably someone from the Lord's staff goes and kind of wipes off and takes care of. But you get the impression that this one weren't originally from the sewers. How would you go about entering this great place?
Sneakily.
Yeah, very sneaky.
I was more thinking who would dare go down first.
I'll go first.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
I mean, like, your eyes aren't as good as they used to be.
They still see stuff better than you sometimes.
No, I don't think so.
So if anyone sees him, they'll just think he's a zombie. He'll be fine.
I don't look dead.
The light's not that good down here. And you do have quite a lot of scars across your face. I don't know if you looked in the mirror recently, but, you know, if you see people running and
I'm
screaming,
going
you
to start
know why.
going down the manhole, completely ignoring these guys.
Yep.
The scent you get from here is far from anything than just vile, and you're guessing that this is probably a place where they're not taking human waste, but there's something wrong with it. This is not like a restaurant waste either. This sewer is something really bad is traveling through this. So when venturing down, I do want you guys to roll me a con save.
No.
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay. Not too bad.
I got an 8.
Yeah, you didn't do the constitution saving, though.
No, I didn't. I got
So,
an
I
18.
mean, yeah. I am guessing in that order. We do see Wilben going down first, and after it, we do see Crescent, and lastly, really slowly, Boris is. The eyes are flickering, and it is basically like you're bathing in vomit or whatever it is, but it's not good. Coming to the very end, to the bottom of this stair or ladder, rather, you need to take a little moment. This is like, I need my moment now. I need my self time. This isn't good at all. And the color of the water, whatever it is, it's like ocean green. And it's interesting. As we are traveling down, and if you zoom out, you actually see where you're at, so to speak.
I see black. Whoa, there's a small dot.
Yeah, so zoom out and you'll see where you're at.
I can see a dot.
It's me.
It's me, I'm Mario.
Nope, it's
No, it's not Mario.
That's all we can see, boss. Just a dark light.
Then I'll see if I can't change up. You
light.
As the light, Boris, you should be able to see Crescent. And let's see what we do have here. Click that off. Will that help? That kind of shines it up a little bit.
Yupsy.
Whoopsie. So from here, you can now decide if you want to go upper or lower level tier. Something which Crescent here is this. Yeah, there are probably voices of common speech. You can't really determine what it is. It's really, really embedded deep within this sewer. But you hear it. There are some, I wouldn't say people, as you don't know if it's a humanoid, but something is using common as a preferred speech.
And is that coming from further ahead of us?
Yeah. I would say it will be, if you have a passive perception of 17, you're probably hearing it. I mean, it's really in the very end of it. It's not even a possibility to hear it.
Yeah, I've got a passive perception of 16, so I can't hear crap.
Alright, so if you open up your character sheet, it's under skills, it says passive wisdom perception. It should
Yeah,
have
I'm
already
12.
worked out for you. Jeez.
So, yeah, we can't hear it.
I just hold my hand up to them, like, just listening very intently. Are there loads of voices? Is it only one or two particular voices?
What you hear is probably some sort of discussion back and forth. Hard to say if it's multiple people or what it is, but I mean, picture like a long corridor that arch off in different directions.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of bounces all over the place. So you're not really sure, but you're guessing that traveling through this sewer, you'll get more.
Okay.
It won't be like around the corner, that's for sure.
Uh-huh.
I'm considering how awful this place smells. I'm definitely not going down to the water.
No, it's a very thin part of it that actually pumps it out. So you could jump down. It's like a small ledge down, enough for it to be a couple of feet high. At this point, a very kind of thin line of this green, gooky, horrible substance is being traveled through here from one pipe just underneath where you came from, and probably more as you hear this kind of walking sound as it being pumped in here.
We don't really want to be going down there anyway because that'll make too much noise. We've got, I mean, we're in a couple of people up ahead, so just be quiet. I don't know exactly where we're going in here, but just take it easy and just stay quiet and behind, alright? See what I can find.
Yeah, just move slowly.
Yeah.
If we stay to the top side, there, we can get closer without being seen.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I'm going to stay this side because I can actually see around corners a lot easier.
Yep.
And if we're all on one side, it's probably not that great.
No,
I'm more relying on hearing than sight.
No, it's a good plan. If we stay slightly split, we've got more chance of seeing and hearing stuff otherwise, so... Also, if they spot you, we're around the corner to stab them in the face, so...
Yeah,
We've got
exactly.
it, so just...
They will be focusing on me, so I can run back a bit and they run into you, so...
Exactly.
Okay.
What we
and
like.
so forth.
It's a plan that's worked for us too for a while, so stick with it. Alright.
But try and do this as stealthy as possible.
Sneaky.
Sneaky peeky. So roll me some stealth Ruse then.
Boom, 21.
21. (21, 14, 16). Yeah. And as you are traveling forth, you do see that this green whatever substance that is traveling through the sewer, there are shit here. There are like a barrel kind of drifting. There are just pieces of garbage that have been for some reason passing through here. And as you're walking up, you're kind of coming to a longer corridor, and you're actually hearing the voices now. And I would say,
stop moving.
yeah, and Crescent, you hear what they are talking about. The other of you do hear the voices, but it's a little bit muffled. You probably hear a word here and there. And one of the voices are more almost, angry or very determined. The other one is kind of feeling sorry, as the more direct voice is kind of asking, how stupid could you be? And the other one, you hear there are some scuffling something being moved, like dragged or pulled or turned or fixed back and forth. And as so, it seems to be that they are trying to find something here.
I look over and just very, very quietly. Do we all know Thieves' Cant, or is it just me?
Just you.
Fuck's sake.
No, Mish.
Damn it. Okay. I don't know. That doesn't help in this situation.
I didn't say it did. I just said I know it.
I assume being a bunch of sneaky guys, we'd have basic hand signals for like go forward, stop, follow me, pull back, that kind of stuff.
I kind of guess so as well.
I am just going to indicate that there are 2 people ahead of us, and they should just listen out. Just take a moment, be really quiet.
Yeah.
And then I sneak up to the corner.
Man, you jumped really quickly.
I'm super sneaky, dude. Gone.
Sneaky.
I see someone on the edge of my vision.
Yeah, so you see one of them. I'll actually indicate that the one in blue, which is closest to you, they're wearing like a sort of uniformed guard attire, and your knowledge kind of puts them to the lord that lives here. The one in blue is a little bit younger, and he is basically thriving through this mess of garbage. And you see that they have a small ladder as well that they have tried to use to go up and down. And they are looking for something. The other one in the back is a little bit older, and he's kind of looking at him, and he's not participating in any sort of looking at the garbage or picking or whatever he's doing. And as they are, the one that is searching, the younger one, he has no weapons. He has like a chain shirt and a shield on the back. The older one has 2 spears, so you're guessing the other one is the younger ones, and the other one is his own. And they do have a short bow, which is not strung at the moment. And it seems so that the young one have lost something.
Damn it.
Well, I'm going to just make the gesture of trying and get up as close as possible before we actually get seen or anything.
Sneak, stab.
Pretty much.
Okay.
So the where the water at the side there seems to go into a hole. This area around the side where presumably these people are, I can't see them from where I am. Is the water around there as well?
You do see that the water travels into the hole and disappears, and beyond that part is just dried up. So the sewer is not coming further in, going into your place. It's just coming from where you were and traveling into the hole.
Okay.
So if you wanted to, you can just jump down. For you as a dwarf, it's basically a little bit higher than your chest, so a couple of feet up. So if you jump down, you could easily just kind of grab onto and kind of wiggle your way back up.
So if I was to stand down there, I could easily duck down and be out of sight below the ledge.
Yeah, you could very easily go to maybe this place and hide if you duck a little bit.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I will do that then.
Where are you going? What are you doing?
Just below you in the actual dried out sewer channel. Yep. So I can just duck down behind the... I'm not going to go all the way to the edge because I don't want to give myself away. I'm just staying back out of sight.
Right.
Yeah, he's kind of a little bit of the shorter side, so he actually uses your platform or walkway. I say cover.
a gesture for Wilben to come close.
Are we far enough away that we could whisper to each other without
I'm
being
gonna be
seen?
super quiet. Like, I've got an idea. I'm gonna step out. I'm gonna shoot one because I'm pretty sure I can have him. Gonna gesture the other one to come over here. And hopefully, if he follows me, you guys can jump him. If not, shoot him.
I do have another idea we could try. What we could do is I could make something like appear. I'm thinking these guys are poking around in some slime pile. What if I made like a gelatinous ooze like start appearing out the gunk at his feet? It might be enough to scare him into running away.
Do we want them to run, or do we want to get them?
Well,
As long as they're out the way, it doesn't matter, does it?
yeah, but I'd rather not raise an alarm. I'd rather just kill him out quiet if we have to kill him. Because if they go running, they're going to be yelling, "Oh no, there's an Unitas cube coming after us. What the fuck do we do?" Oh, and a big bunch of his mates turn up and then kill us all. I'd rather that they were taken down quiet and silent rather than running around taking any sort of alarm.
Alright. Do they are these humans, these guys?
Yeah, they're human guards.
And do they have a torch?
Yeah, they have a torch. So their vision is roughly around 20 feet, which
Do
is.
I know them? Because I used to work in the guards. Do they look familiar? Do anything?
I think these guys are
Personal
private guards, aren't they, rather than actual
Yeah.
city guards?
So I would say no. You know that they work like a private contract for one lord.
Okay.
So they are their own entity. The young one you have never, ever seen. The older one, maybe you've seen him past or something, but you don't know him, and he surely doesn't know you.
It's more about the armor, seeing that and everything. 'Cause it's just
What we could do is they've only got one torch. I could put snuff out, and then we could jump them in the dark, because we can all see in the dark and they can't.
that's actually a really good idea. Who are you, and where's Boris?
Yeah. Fuck is wrong with you? Alright, we'll go for it.
All right. I guess we could do like the finger count thing, where like 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, as
And
he snuffs it out, I'm taking aim on the dude with the 2 spears with my bow. Oh wait, I don't have a bow. I'm not about that shit. I'm about running in and hitting people.
Yeah, I was going to say something earlier, but
So
Yeah.
I'll place the torch token down so you know roughly where the torch is.
Oh, I can get to either of them. Fuck yeah. Alright. So yeah, we'll ready whatever the fuck it is we're doing, or wait for Boris to do a thing.
Yeah, I'll do my countdown and then do my prestidigitation to snuff out their torch.
Yeah, so they have no vision of you guys at all. Their closest place they do see to is roughly here, and it kind of arcs around here.
Cool.
So they see nothing at all at this place. So you use your spell to just take out the torch flame, right?
Yeah.
And as soon as that happens, we're gonna bamf our way over
yeah,
there.
we would both bolt it over there.
Yep.
Who wants to go first of you two?
Do you
Do
want?
you want me to?
You can go first. Do you want to kill the little one, or do you want to kill the older one?
I was going to go for the older one.
Yeah, me too. I'll tell you what. You go for the older one, and if he's still alive, I'll take him out. How
Sounds
about
good.
that? Oh, hang on. I'll let you through. Hang on. There you go. You can get a bit more room. There you are.
Yeah, I don't know how to do the red movement thing.
What? Oh no, don't worry about that. Just move your token. Oh, on the left-hand side, you see there's a picture of a like a ruler. It's the 4th one down. And then you
Underneath the magnifying glass.
Oh, cool.
Ah,
But you have to remember to put it back to select tool to move your token. Otherwise, you just do lines.
You have that selected at all times.
Yeah.
I would probably just about be able to get there.
Oh. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Fine.
So
Go on
I
then.
will attack him with my greatsword.
Yeah, so you lunges forth, and as soon as the flame from the torch kind of goes out, you hear the old one immediately kind of bashes the younger one. What did you do now? God freaking!
He's been
And
stabbed by a great sword.
And
yeah,
I would literally just lunge straight at him and not slash, as in actual stab.
no, you're basically going full out, and
Yeah.
you see how the young one kind of looks down towards the torch, like, oh, did I kind of accidentally trip it? So he's kind of searching for it. He sees nothing. It's complete sheer darkness, and even worse, if you have had a light source and that one goes out in a darkness, there's nothing to help you. He is really blinded. So he's kind of tumbling around searching for the torch itself, which is standing as it were. And as soon as he's kind of just touching the base of it, you're kind of coming forth with your greatsword.
Yeah. And I'm going to use Corone's advantage on this.
Good plan.
Cool. That was a good one then.
Yeah.
Whew, damn.
21 and 27.
So the 27 is a nat 20, which means that you get 19 damage, which basically ends him with a lot of points to spare. So how do you want to kind of kill the first campaign character NPC at least out?
Literally just stab him straight through the chest with my whole sword, go up to my hilt, all the way in.
Yeah, he is so surprised. He didn't expect that at all. So, yeah, after you basically just bury your sword straight through and then some, he gets like just a small, and the one in the back, you can kind of see that he stands there with two spears and kind of like looking up into the dark air, like, for fuck's sake, standing there like waiting for him to find it, which then moves over to Crescent.
Yes, I'm gonna stab him in the chest with my rapier.
I was actually going to do my War Priest Blessing and make an attack as a bonus action, but
Oh, go
I'm
for
guessing
it.
this is a sneak attack,
Yeah, go.
You may
No,
for
go for it.
which is at the other guy.
Please go ahead. If I don't have to dull my blades by
Which-
killing people.
Just do a
That could be a
town guard
secret
shooting
mistake.
about.
I was going to do that. If you want to read it.
Yeah.
When you use an attack action, you can make one weapon attack as a bonus action.
Yeah. Let's go for it.
Oh, that's
Which
only
is
a 12.
No, not against their chainmail.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's still worth it.
yeah, absolutely. Which basically means he gets aware
God
of
damn it,
it.
dude.
So he's like, huh? Stop fooling around. God damn it. Useless. And
Now I'd like to stab him.
go for the stab.
19.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's 18 damage because I have my companion in melee range, so I have the sneak attack. So I stab him for 18.
Yeah. How do you want to do that then? Is it like throat straight through or eye poke?
No, yeah,
or...
just literally just straight through and straight out. Like
Eye
if
poke.
I'm gonna go through the side, I'm taking him through the side of the jugular and just like straight through and out, and then in a single action, like.
Yeah.
pouring it out.
So you're basically just ending him in the mid sentence, like,
Oh, for fuck!
yeah. And he just, as you're drawing back your rapier, he kind of just falls to the flooring.
I flick the blood off my rapier.
And they just lie dead there. You're guessing, I mean, what they were doing and talking. If there are other guards here, they're not going to bother by whatever conspired, as they were kind of shouting back and forth either way.
Awesome. They're dealt with. I look over at Boris and nod, like, surprisingly good plan.
totally not really what we were expecting.
I love the fact that they're being so sneaky right now. They're both muted, so nobody can hear what they're saying. It's exactly how it should be.
I didn't actually say anything.
I just brush my collar off so I can come up and go like, yeah, of course it was a good plan.
She didn't say it out loud. She just gave you the look of like, all right, boy. All right. Do I hear anything else now? Now that these two are dead and silent.
No, you're basically, yeah. There isn't anything that is sticking out like voices or movement or anything like that.
What's this dark section there?
It's basically like a passage up and down.
Okay.
You're guessing that they used it to get up and down sewer-wise, but it's closed off now. So there's just one entry, which you came from.
What was on the floor that the guard was looking for? Can we see?
You could start to search as well as the young one did.
Yeah, I'll just kind of like use my boot to kind of shift some stuff on the floor just to see if I can, like where he was looking around, to see if I can actually see what it was he dropped or had lost.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, surprisingly enough, you find a small ring and a couple of different sorts of keys.
These could be handy. I'll pass the ring over to our boss and like, hey, there's a little ring too. Might be worth a penny.
Ring where the keys were fitted onto.
Ah, right, okay. So yeah, in that case, I'll hand them over to the boss. And be like, here you go. These might help us.
And they smell dreadfully.
I'm definitely going to hand them over to her then.
Yeah, I better take him. I just like shove him in like my back pocket or something. Like, all right, let's move on then.
Are there any pouches on these guys? Just with a quick glance.
Nope.
Okay. I will continue going on.
Oh yeah.
Actually, one quick question. Their uniforms, were they like a tabard over the top of their outfits, or was it actually like in the outfits?
Both. So they have like a surcoat that kind of goes over, longer without any kind of arms attached to it.
Might be worth nabbing those two if we got to, sneak past someone wearing those outfits. Might be looking a bit better than not having anything at all.
At least at a glance, they'll be confused enough for me to stab him. All right, you guys,
All right.
put them on then.
I'll pick up the one that's least stained by filth.
Well, one of them has been cut in half pretty much because my great sword went through his chest. I'm pretty sure that one's useless.
That one might be bloody as hell, but at least one of them. Oh, I'll tell you what, Boris, you put it on.
All right, I'll put on the one that isn't being run through.
So you're trying to fit a human surcoat, and you're kind of looking at it as like, yeah, this is for a very thin, older gent, and I am short and stout. I'm not going to call myself fat. I'm stout. This is not going to go well.
Go so far as to call a brother fat. Okay.
With a dwarf, it never goes well.
No.
I'll just do my best, like roll the ends up so it doesn't look too obvious. Maybe cut them off with a knife or something.
Yeah, you're basically looking like you're trying to fit like a costume over a Michelin character. It's really like this, trying to fit like a super small on top of this body that is definitely triple X.
Okay. It might fool someone for half a second in the dark.
Don't even bother.
It's basically fooling them if it's what the hell of
you're a distraction.
Why? Yeah.
I tell you, let's just leave it and go on then. I'm going to
Sounds good to me.
Sneak up to the corner.
And you basically see a couple of guards. They don't see you guys. They do have torches, but they go so far. You kind of see how the light ends roughly where there is like a whole destroyed part here. So they kind of see this far. Why they don't see further? They probably had the torch set up somewhere around here before, or had like a patrol that walked here, but those are out. These ones seem to be a little bit like a well-working guardsman, and at the very, very end, there is this ironed out door, greater one with a huge padlock on. And they are standing there like almost hanging on to their spears. One is like almost falling to sleep. The rest is like bored to their teeth. So they're basically standing there. I would say the two on the lower part, they do have their bows at the ready. The other ones on the respective higher leveled don't. They only have their spears out. They don't really interact due to their fatigued. So they're basically just standing there looking like boringly waiting for the rest to come.
Does it look like they can get through the gate really quickly or really easily? Like if they're like, oh shit, and die through the gate? Or is it more kind of like, someone let me in, and nobody's answering?
You're guessing they need to unlock rather the padlock that sits on the outside.
Excellent. That's good. That's good, because it means that...
Yeah, they are trapped.
Excellent. That's exactly what I was hoping you were going to say.
Yeah, if one of them this round, it will take him 2 rounds to open and kind of go to the other side and close the door, if he chooses to.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to, assuming that we're kind of we've like fallen back a bit to kind of have a discussion? Do we want to do this quietly, or do we want to just charge in there and butcher him?
I'm always down for quiet. Gives us options.
What we could do, if we tuck ourselves in the back wall here, I could make us like invisible to, or like make us like hard for them to see us, and then we could like make a noise like there's like shout for help down the corridor and see if they run off down the corridor to try and help their mates back there, which at least would thin them out a bit.
Yeah, but if we scream for help, there's a chance they might go get more help.
Or rather than shout for help, we could just be like, "Oi, come give us a hand. We've lost something."
That's better. Like, I mean, the kid was an idiot, right? Can anyone pretend? Anyone think they got the chops to pretend to be that old git, the old one? Like, oh fuck me, the old young one's like too stupid. Someone give me a bloody hand, sort of thing. Hang on a minute. Wilben, you're old. You got it.
That is roughly their vision.
Okay, thanks.
I would say that this one, they're kind of doing this instead. Okay. Yeah.
If you want, I can give it a go, but I'm not holding high hopes to it. I don't speak that well.
I'm pretty good at talking. I reckon I could throw my voice all right.
All right then.
Yeah.
Just
if I stay,
yeah.
If I stay roughly where I am, I can use meld with stone and literally go into the wall. So if anyone goes past and tries to find you, the people that are just seeing, I can come out after they've gone past.
Yeah, I mean, you've got that side of the road. You've got that side of the sewer, and I've got this side. They come around the corner, I'll just stab them in the face.
Yeah,
exactly.
If you want, I could just come from here anyway, and you could just stab them as they come around the corner. I was going to say I can cast illusion and make us like move the wall like a foot further forward, so we just press ourselves back against the wall, and they just run past us. But if you guys do that, I could just stay where I'm here. You hide there. If he melts with the stone as they run past, we just jump them.
Yep, we've got this, and then
right.
I think I've got the speed to get over there and deal with whatever's left. So let's do it.
Okay, can we like prepare spells so that we can trigger them like when like an event happens?
You, even though it's not a part of Fifth Edition, you'll have like a surprise round when you can start your part.
Cool.
You're supposed to do like an initiative kind of roll, no matter what. But let's decide who will go first of you guys, and
It's got
we
to be
take it from
Boris
there.
then, and then I'll trigger with anyone who comes past.
Oh, then I'm gonna try and aim for any of the guys who stay back by the gate because I can actually fire at range. You guys are both melee, so if there's anyone left by the gate, I'm gonna try and take them out before they have a chance to open it and get through. So I'll call out for a distraction, and then once these guys, I'll wait until some of their guys are close enough for you guys to attack them, and then at that point, I'll then throw an Eldritch Blast at the bloke by the door.
So, do you want to try to convince them, or do you just want to kind of, oi, hey?
I'm basically going to put the try and imitate the voice of the old bloke. I'll be like, oh, the bloody kids dropped the light again. Someone bring some light round here.
Roll for a performance.
Can I do deception?
No, that's if you're trying to convince someone, or
Well, I'm trying to put on the voice of the old man.
so that's performance.
Okay, let's give this a go.
Waller's been through this so many times.
Yep. You have to keep trying with him. Though.
11.
Yeah. So you basically try it out, and you know that you hit no note on the right one. So this one that you're aiming for, the straight on two, right? This one, I guess you're kind of aiming it for.
In support, the light did just go out around the corner.
Yeah, but they didn't see that light at all.
Okay.
And also, if you're aiming for an advantage, you've got a 7. So go.
So,
No, I'm just saying, in defense of how difficult the check might be to succeed.
And I am saying that person up there that you're aiming towards, that's me.
Huh?
He's over here.
Oh, yeah, even that. So were you going for this one or that one? The lower or upper?
Whichever one doesn't, probably the one lower there, but whichever one of them doesn't come away from the door, because basically I assume they're probably going to leave one person by the door and the other 3 come forward.
Yeah.
And I'm basically keeping an eye on which one doesn't move away from the door and take them out first.
Yeah, so this person on the upper one, he will basically say, looking over to the other 3 that kind of looks really baffled by your performance. Not so much like imposter or something, but they're like, what the? So the lower one will yank off the torch and will start walking towards you.
Okay.
Do you want to attack, or do you want to see?
Are the other 3 staying there?
Yeah, at this point. So he will get
Okay.
to here, and you're guessing that he could probably maybe see the corner. If he
Yeah.
kind of...
So what I'm aiming for there is, because I know that we've got our rogue hiding just behind the corner, I'm going to wait until he's almost at the corner. So I'm probably wait until he's about here, about there. Once he gets to about there, where he's just about to see our rogue, I'll then jump out and send a bolt at the that dude up there, because I'm currently ducked down behind the road over here. So he shouldn't see me until he's right on top of me. So I'm listening basically for when he gets close enough, and then I'm going to jump out and shoot the other dude. So yeah, but he's about there.
Yeah, this was easier to do. So he is coming towards this, and you kind of see how the light is extending into, and that's kind of not really right at all. Not sure if I can. Jesus Christ, that's fiddly. I'm guessing the torch light kind of goes all the way to here. And as he's coming forth here, he's like, Tom, are you having throat problems? Doesn't sound like you. And he's starting to kind of sweep with the torch a little bit, and he looks a little bit confused. And Do you want to attack from there, or do you want the next round to start up?
I think probably because he's pretty close now, I'll probably attack from here because everyone else should be able to reach. I think our rogue can definitely reach the nearby torch wielder, and I think Wilfram can just about. You can't quite get there in time.
Nope, I can't get there in time, but it's fine.
So I mean, because the other three don't seem to be moving.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, then yeah, I will launch a. I will step out and launch a Eldritch Blast at the dude up there on top of the steps. So I just step out, thrust out my hands, and fire a purple bolt of flame at that dude. For 21 to hit.
Yeah. So you send this purple energy over to this one, and he gets dissolved. Or is it more going straight through like a arrow, or?
No, I think it basically the fire kind of splashes against him and then just gradually spreads out and eats him, almost like being shot by a phaser in like Star Trek, where it literally just he just starts dissolving out from the point of impact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which then goes to Wilben. What do you want to do?
As we've already kind of started attacking, I would cast Spectral Weapon behind the two down the bottom for my bonus action. Then for my main action, I would cast Guiding Bolt on the one of them two as well. Third level.
Ouch.
Yeah. If I do the Guiding Bolt against that one first.
Just
level
lick it off. Yeah.
There we go.
So
I only rolled an 11 to hit, so that misses.
Yeah. That one is not so well, but it kind of lights up the room anyhow. So that was your main action?
Yeah, and then my secondary action was to cast that and attack against the same guy, which would have been a no.
Yeah, you make a good show, though.
Yeah. Rolling below 10s, so...
Oh my god, guys, what the fuck?
But I do need a marker or a thing for a spiritual weapon there, if that's okay.
Yeah, and definitely. I'll make a... isn't there like a spectral guardian?
It's a spiritual weapon.
Spiritual.
Though a mace or something like that would be fine. Just
to
show where it is. Spectral weapon could be a goblin. Wielding a goblin by the toe.
Yeah. I'll add in a token. And let's give you token. You are the worst at times. There we go.
Yeah, I only just remembered I'm actually a cleric, so I actually have range spells. It's weird. It's the first time I'm ever playing a spellcaster.
What can stand out? The red one, I guess. So something like this, I guess.
That's good.
What is your
Sounds
spiritual
good.
weapon?
Yeah. However, the weapons at this point didn't do enough.
Nope.
It
My
kind of,
guiding bolt and my spiritual weapon did crapple.
Just one guy
yeah, you did. You put on a show though. So Crescent, what do you want to do? Yeah, what you've seen is that Boris did a lousy performance, which made it so that one of them started to kind of go forth and ask if the, whatever his name was, Stephen Thomas, had a throat problem, or is he just pulling his leg? So he started to walk with his torch, and then Boris started shooting. Wilben didn't do so good, but kind of looked good. So what do you want to do?
I'm gonna do the thing that I should.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. Does a spiritual weapon count as a companion in this context?
Nope.
Fuck.
It's a
It's
spell.
spiritual. It's
Okay.
literally spectral, so
Alright.
nothing can actually hit it.
No,
It
no
has
one-
no hit points.
No one's being at all useful.
Well,
To be fair, you are currently concealed,
Yeah.
so you're attacking from stealth.
Yeah, but I don't have a ranged weapon.
No, but you're close enough to it to run out and stab the other dude in the face.
Yeah, but that won't be stealthy.
Well, to be fair, I mean, he is currently surprised. We've literally just been like,
Oh,
hey,
okay.
Tom, what's going on? And then suddenly we've just attacked him. He's been like, whoa! So I'd say by definition, this is a surprise attack.
Yeah.
In that case,
it's a surprise attack, but as soon as she's coming forth, he's seeing.
he's seeing me, so it's not a surprise. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
If it were so that she could kind of come up from behind, from the wall, or something like that, sure. But as soon as
I
Crescent is
can't.
kind of coming around the corner,
What sneaky, stupid way can I try and get some sort of advantage on this motherfucker?
Don't think you can.
Nope. Fudge.
bonus action to delete the torch.
Okay, sure, I'll take it.
No, I'm asking if you have one that will.
I don't have any sort of bonus. I have nothing useful that helps me here.
And it's a straight on attack.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, I'll
Not my problem, your guys, and not pulling in the weight.
I know they're fucking useless, man. I mean,
I
can
I
pray to
forgot
a
my,
god, but
my
he's not
mic was
helping me.
muted. Why did he put his
killed
torch
one.
out? There is actually one way I could bring an ally into the situation.
No,
I could.
screw it. I want to take his torch from
Right.
him and stab him in the face with the torch.
Yeah, you could do that.
I
Sure.
want to put the torch out on his face. That's my plan.
Yeah.
What am I rolling,
so,
boss?
let's make it so that you do a normal weapon proficiency attack.
Sweet. I'm going to click the dexterity saving throw because it's the same number.
Yeah.
11.
Yeah. So you will basically try to snag it, and he sees you running up towards him. He's like, who are you? And you're kind of back and forth with the torch. Let go of my torch.
Just irritating him.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
You're like a kid in a playground just trying to nick someone's toy.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Let go of my torch.
I'm just irritating
you're-
him. I'll take it.
You're not Tom or Steve or whatever his name is.
No, I'm not. Give me a bloody torch. Just let go. You don't need it.
So, I do. I can see sight of all.
That's my plan. The plan is you're never supposed to see again. Give me the bloody torch.
And from there, we do see them. Nope. Yep. Them doing the initiative parts now. So you basically click your token and you find the initiative kind of high up mid.
No, you have to click on your token for it to automatically add to the turn order.
Yeah. So due to the fact you rolled low, you can click on your token and do the same thing again.
So I click on it and then click initiative.
Yeah. So it's kind of marked. There you go. I'll take that. Hey, there's no cheating in the classroom, guys. Don't
I
look at
can't
it.
help it if some people are a bit special when they come to their characters.
What is Boris? I mean, if he's having this problem with initiative, maybe he should be last and not first. It's just not right.
Apparently he's first.
I think I'll go first. Thank you very much.
How? How is that even possible?
Well, you know, all of you guys would be lost without me. Let's face it.
Well, he's kind of right in this situation. The first kind of interaction, you guys sucked.
Yeah. I got like the sneaky rogue just like runs out and goes, "Give me the torch!" And you're like, no. Oh.
Well, none of you
So-
in any way useful to me. It's like, why is nobody in melee? God damn it.
I could have made a melee character, but you said no, don't worry about it, so I
No, I
didn't.
said make someone sneaky that isn't a halfling.
I am sneaky. I'm super sneaky. Also far faster than you,
God damn
apparently.
it, just stab someone already.
I'm
Yeah.
going to take out the other archer with a Eldritch Blast. So I'm also going to gesture to him and set him on fire with purple lightning.
No, you
Oops.
don't.
Maybe not.
Nah.
If I had advantage, that would have been a crit.
But you
Yeah, that,
This is why I told you to turn off the advantage thing, because
Yeah, but I like to point out that, you know, if anything advantageous is going on, it would be a crit.
so you did the worst and the best, but in this case, it's.
I am attacking from the darkness, so technically it's like a sneak attack.
Still,
I am outside the range of light.
you have been revealed, so there ain't any
did
sort
just
of
shout
deal.
very loudly.
Fine.
And you basically send off this purple energy. Do you want to move or any bonus action?
Yeah, there is a thing I can do, which is when I slay a humanoid, you can raise its spectre to fight for you. So could I raise the spectre of that one I just killed?
I think you need to do it in the same order, right?
Okay, right, yeah. So it's when you as you kill it. Okay, didn't know if I could do it afterwards. In that case, I don't think there's anything else I can do as a bonus action. I could actually no. I'll come over, seeing how much trouble this, like, you know, yeah, my boss is having. I'm going to come over and attempt to assist with this, like, whatever the hell she's trying to do with this dude.
Yeah.
I was going
she's-
to run over and basically try and grab his arm and hold it behind his back so she can, like, stab him or whatever she's trying to do.
You could do a strength check with a advantage,
Okay.
as he is more in contact combat.
I was just coming over to give her advantage, really, but yeah, I'll give it a go.
Yeah,
7.
yeah. You're giving the advantage to her too. So
You're just
Yeah.
like, meh.
yeah, you're holding his leg. He's like,
Yeah,
where
I
are you
just thought-
coming from?
They're just like,
What the
don't
hell?
steal my torch. You like touch my leg. What's wrong with you people? He's got the most
So-
confused guard ever.
Yeah. Do you guys see this? They're coming from all over the place.
Oh my goddamn balls.
they're like rats.
Basically.
Yeah, and that'll be the end of my go.
Yeah. So Wilben. What do
Wilbur
you
is
do?
going to move up 30 feet, or just before the light, roughly.
Hmm.
So about there, ish.
Mhm.
I don't know if the other light will probably show him
Oh,
any
yeah.
off anyway.
You're already in now.
And he is going to do another guiding bolt against this guy. Just the normal level. I rolled a 15 to hit.
Which basically hits. Yeah, it hits just about.
And I did 11 damage in total.
11 on the damage, which actually suffice barely. So he stumbles around looking for whatever hit him and sees like a huge hole over this guiding bolt sticking straight through, and kind of mumbles, "This feels awkward," and he just tumbles, falling forth.
Awesome. And I will get my spiritual weapon to attack the other guy down there.
Mm-hmm. Is that a roll you do? Or?
Yes, it's an attack roll. which will be an 11, which I don't think it hits.
No. You basically know now they have 15. So it kind of swings around back there, and that guard is now going to be more paranoid. So Crescent, what do you want to do?
I'm stabbing this guy in the face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
As
you're
he's,
doing
looking
that.
Down at his mate, I basically want to like jam my rapier into the underside of his throat.
Yeah, I'll give you an advantage. He's basically being dragged in one direction by a dwarf by the leg, and and you up in his. So 25. Yes.
For like 21 damage.
And you make him feel like stupid, so he kind of dies off, which basically leads us off to the last guard, who starts to pat around his body. Oh shit, the Samuel, the youngster. And he will start running, and as no one is on this floor, he kind of runs over here. So he kind of legs it. And in the motion, okay, then he can't really go that far. He gets to here. He can't really do that either. So he stands here. He runs up, nicks it, and gets to here. So he has the torch kind of jammed into his armpit as he's trying to fix the short bow and an arrow, and he's kind of running around the and that's kind of his doing. So Boris, you step out of the way, and the guard that was in this tumult with you guys falls to your side, and you see this other guard running with a torch, kind of fielding around with his gear. Holy shit! No! They didn't teach this at the academy. This starts wrong.
I'm going to spin around on my knees because I assume if I grab this.
You're muted.
Muted.
I'm going to dive down to, because I assume I'm kneeling down the floor at the moment because I grabbed the dude's leg. So I'm going to just pivot on my knees and just reach out behind me towards this dude and strike him with another Eldritch Blast. I'll try to anyway.
Yeah, 10. So he is running with this torch tucked in, arrow, and a Eldritch Blast flying by. And he's like, oh, Jesus, they're hunting me.
And as seeing that missed, I'm then just going to maneuver myself around to over here somewhere, knowing that he's going to have to run past me onto the next one. So actually, hang on. So how from there? How can I see if I can go about 25? Can't I? Being a short dwarf, decided to stop working. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so I could actually I could actually dive off the edge and just stand kind of in the middle of the channel so that he would actually have to run past me.
Yeah.
Everything seems to have stopped working properly in my browser. Oh, it's because I've still got the measurement. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to stand just over here somewhere. So if he wants to run past me, he has to come right next to me. And I've got my short sword in my hand ready to slash his ankles if he does.
Yeah. He at this point, when you do that, he is not seeing you. He'll probably do it on his turn, but yeah. So you're kind of jumping down, see how he's kind of coming to the corner in this canal. Wilben, what do you want to do?
I am going to run and jump onto him with my greatsword, just straight down.
That was my plan too with my short sword. So if you miss, we have a backup.
I hope I don't miss. I really hope. But let's have a look.
Well, I just rolled a 1 and a 2 for my attacks.
Yeah, so you do connect with a Sevion. He do not go down though, but you do a significant kind of tear, probably close to the throat, kind of to the shoulder, ripping up a huge gorging wound, more to the back, I would say. And he's like, oh, no, so close to home, so close to home.
And with that, I'm going to use my War Priest thing again and use a bonus action to do another attack against him. Which is 18.
That'll do him.
Yeah, so he kind of tries to turn around to see who almost killed him, holding the torch to you, lighting your face up. He's like, oh, and then you kind of just thrust in the sword, and he's like, falls down. And everything kind of gets completely quiet. All of you hear like these metal parts being, as the spiritual weapons are kind of swinging back and forth.
Oh, the spiritual weapon will disappear after a minute.
Yeah, or
I just stop it.
Yeah, but you hear them kind of going back and forth and swinging. So you put them to arrest, I guess.
Yeah.
I was going to run up and put my ear against the door to see if I could hear any sounds from the other side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can make a perception.
Ooh, perception.
Nope.
You hear that the gate is cold. Yeah, Boris, you actually hear that there is almost as a small drag of a wind back and forth, but there is no apparent movement or voices or anything, and you're sure of it.
Okay. I'll after listening to you a second or two, I'll look up and go, sounds like the coast's clear.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Where's the keyhole and where's the key?
There's a huge padlock on.
Okay.
So,
And you had the key, didn't you?
I've got a bunch of keys, you.
Awesome.
I want to check that it's not like stupidly trapped in some stupid way.
Yeah, roll for your tools.
You're a tool. 17.
You're a tool. I'm a tool.
Everybody's tool.
Yeah, you quickly understand that this is just a diversion thing. The whole padlock is like overly shown kind of deal. So you basically, that's the thing that I need to do. But if you insert anything into the actual lock itself, there will be a small explosion. You're kind of putting something that'll make it explode. You see that underneath or behind the padlock itself is actually the keyhole.
Cool. I would like to check that that's not trapped.
Yeah, you do that with your thieves tools, with your 17.
Yes. Okay.
And you see nothing.
In that case, I want to open the door. I want to like figure out which one of these keys fits the friggin' hole, and then use that to open the door.
Is there any way I could use Arcana to sense if there's any magical stuff around, or
not detect? If you
just not specific area, just in general.
You can understand if there are texts. You can understand if there are. If this is a magical item, but you don't know what it'll do and stuff like that. So it's like an information tool. So if you see something,
magic versus seeing magic.
Yeah, I've got the spell detect magic as well.
Yeah, so that if you do that, you have like an area. I think it's 30 feet or something, and you see if there's anything magical in that area.
Up to 10 minutes for 30 feet. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it something you want to do while opening up the door gate, or do you want to wait a little bit longer?
Nope. Like this. I'm gonna open the door and get through this shit.
Yeah.
I can also see through walls. If we need to,
What?
which could be handy. I can see through walls for up to 30 feet.
What? You don't think that's an ability? That's something you should have maybe told us when we first started this shindig.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, what can I say? I'm full of useful and amazing abilities. You should be used to that by now.
No, Because you never bloody tell us you have them.
In fact, I did. I told you.
How come you can see through walls, but you can't see if you've written an S or a J? What the fuck is wrong with you?
I know exactly what I've written. I just don't. You just need to tell me the right thing to write in the first place. Not.
I've had enough of you. All right, what the hell is this?
There are 2 very large statues of guards. They are holding long spears, very heavy armor. And you know that these are the armor used by lords way back when, kind of like an honorary set. They don't use it anymore. So 30 feet, you do
there.
Yeah. Sense the presence within. Yeah, so you have like a 30 feet around you that you feel.
Yeah.
Mage star.
So you'll get a 30.
Yep. So do you want me to go first, or do you want to use your trapness to see if you can see any?
I don't like the look of these statues.
Either of these statues magic?
No.
There is no magic upon them.
Right, then I want to check them for traps, because either they're just heralds, or there's some, like, clever little trap, like, ploys that I haven't thought about. So I just want to check them.
Go for it.
Checkaroo.
24.
Yeah. You know that there isn't really a trap. However, passing them will make a alarm. And the alarm will go deeper somewhere in this establishment place.
A magic spell?
No, it's basically several pressure plates.
What about if we go around the back? Because there's a bit of room around the back we could squeeze past.
Yeah, that'll do. What you do have is basically a tiled floor, and on the side there are more of some sort of tiles that have been worked on, kind of giving it another sort of facing.
I tell them exactly where to put their feet so we don't trigger the trap. And we'll go around the edge.
Oh, we'll go around the edge.
So what you basically see is that you have one door leading to your left, and Crescent, you pull up the slip. This isn't the door you're looking for.
What next one, chaps?
Well, what's in there? Do you know?
Well, how about we focus on doing our mission rather than getting laden down with more shit we don't need?
Well, true, but we've already made a hell of a mess getting in here.
Yeah, but so far we've been quiet and silent. We can grab stuff on the way back out, but let's make sure we get the job first.
All right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, let's do the job. We loot on the way back home.
You might want to keep an eye out for traps on the floor, though, just to make sure.
Yep. I'll do
Yeah.
Watch out for the hole there as well.
Don't trip over the hole. You keep your score and kind of use it throughout here. It kind of gives the scene. Mm-hmm. And there aren't any more of these. You're guessing that they use the door kind of deal and roughly around there. There are several doors here and there throughout this corridor, and it kind of swirls off to your right. And as you walk, you do see that there is like a small plaque on each door giving off a number and a letter. No significant kind of combination that says anything, but you have another set on your paper than any of these doors.
Mm-hmm. So none of these 3 doors in this corridor.
No. Everyone is stating something else, completely something else.
Okay. Then continuing to keep an eye out for traps. I'll head down this way.
Yeah, and there is actually the stairs leading up to a higher platform, a walkway. The difference is roughly about 10 feet.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, but
Sweet.
so you will be very hidden, Boris, and the rest as well. It's 10 feet from the ground floor up to where Crescent is.
Okay. I'm gonna work my way down here
Just
along this wall.
Just tell me when I come across the room.
Yeah,
just here.
You're basically gonna need to walk quite a bit. And what happens is that you need to jump down.
Sure. Doink.
Basically.
What about this door we've just gone past? Is that in use?
No,
No.
not the slip.
And the one she just walked past up the top, that's not the one either.
No,
No.
he's gonna stop me when I find it. No, carry on. He hasn't stopped me so far.
No.
This
So as you're coming to the end of these corridors, you do see exactly where you stand. The lower is the door you're looking for. There's also a stair leading up to a door, and the door is with a lock, normal lock, besides the door handle.
Alright. You two cover me. So if I open this and something horrible is on the other side, kill it.
Alright.
I'm
Well,
gonna check the door for traps first.
In
As
that
far as
case,
I know, the door is not magical.
I'm going to stand behind you so I can see over your head to around, possibly between your
25.
legs to cast magic.
You got
Like
25 or 25?
the sneakiest of all.
So
Admit your arm was as good as me.
yeah, so roughly what you do is that you look at the lock, and I would say this is one lock that they don't really teach at any school. It is intricate and very demanding. And for some reason, some way, you actually just, well, you are devious, but I know how to. So you kind of find every kind of mechanism and opens up the door itself. And how do you proceed? Do you sneakily open it up, or how do you want to do it?
Very cautiously.
Sneaky.
Sneaky. Very cautiously. First I want to listen, like, once I've unlocked, like, if there's anyone on the other side, which I realised I probably should have done first of all, but yeah. Now I've unlocked it. I just
So
want to
opening
listen.
it up the door, it's actually just a lock into the door. After you kind of lock pick that door and you're about to open it up, you kind of, maybe listen in.
Yeah. I just got over excited that I could, break this door down.
Exactly. I mean, this is one of the locks that haven't really,
Basically, she
been
goes
featured.
full nerd on this, like, I haven't seen this, I haven't seen this since, like, my Rocky days. You don't see this kind of quality craftsmanship anymore.
Craftsmanship.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, craft.
I'm super tired and I'm trying to be cockney. It's not working. She goes full nerd on this. That's why she didn't listen first, but now she is. What do I hear? Oh, great master. What's going on?
You do hear rattling of chains.
Is someone in here?
Do you want me to go first?
Do you want to maybe cover your faces first in case we don't want to let this person know who we are?
I look up at him. I'm wearing half a mask on my face anyway.
Okay. I'm gonna basically just wrap some cloth or a bit of shirt or jacket or coat or something around my face, just so that if there is someone here we leave behind, they're not immediately gonna go, "That was his face. I saw him. He looked like this."
Yeah.
I'm just going to pull down and pull up something that goes up to just underneath my eye.
Yeah. I assume as practice thieves, we'd have a little scarf or something we could pull up over our noses just to cover our faces.
You have some scarf or something, and you see that the others have been doing it for a very long time, so they have a very good kind of decking out, and you basically have a scarf that you wrap you around.
I'll get you some sort of mask or bandana or something. You look
So
ridiculous.
it's a lot easier than
Scarf
just
wrapped around your
mask,
face.
scarf. But I'm going to open the door sneakily.
Sneakily.
Yeah, just kind of crack it open so I can just about see in it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And you are faced by a gate, a locked gate. Let's see. Yeah, that's freaking hell. Yeah. So the door is gone, and what you also see is like a prison almost, a prison room, and in one of the corners, you guys see this.
Fuck mine.
Did she tell you that the ledger was maybe a person?
No, Mark kind of left that little detail out.
Is there actually anything else in the room apart from this person?
Not more than you can see, which is basically her. Some buckets. One bucket is filled with blood for some reason. There is a bed, and she is by the chains.
And she's smoking slightly.
Yeah, you see that she has cuts that gives off this light fume of smoke, and it's almost as she's burning from the inside. Her eyes are glowing of this sort of amber golden.
Is this anything any of us have ever seen before?
No, this is freaky as hell.
Yeah, okay.
I think we should just kill it and leave.
Could I do some kind of... could I attempt a religion check to see if it's anything that's if it's matches any kind of possession or anything that I've ever heard of?
Yeah, you could. You could try to remember back or recall or...
This is going to go really badly, but I'll give it a go. Oh, there you go, crit.
So...
-2.
-2.
Yeah, I'm not particularly religious.
No shit.
And by so, you unfortunately can't at all connect this with any sort of religion. So with your most confident voice, you can say this has no religion attached to it. There is nothing that have any sort of deity or anything.
Okay, doesn't look like she's inhabited by a god or demon or anything of that nature.
No, anything that is attached to religion. So you can rule that out.
Can I sense magic coming off of her at all? Or
you sense...
Detect magic.
Yeah.
Dude, she's bleeding fire. I could detect magic.
Like my fucking shit.
You
I think we may have to start ribbing him for that. Dude, come on.
You do detect as they open the door. The doors are actually something that makes the detection of magic not go through. So you need to open the doors to sense it. But yeah, you do sense that there is a divination magic, and yeah, that's about it.
So divination, that's divine, isn't it?
No, that's the reading of future and knowledge.
She is the ledger.
Again, Captain Obvious. I mean,
I'm glad we bring him along these intelligence gathering sessions. So is she like she's chained to the wall, I assume. Is she the bindings like engraved with runes or anything, or is it just standard shackles?
She's basically chained. That's it. She has enough chains to move around a little bit, basically to the clean yourself and lay on the bed, basically.
Or do we want to talk to this person and try and get her out?
Well,
we're here
I'm
for
just
the
thinking
ledger.
these magic people, sometimes you let them move their chains and suddenly poof, they've gone.
Well, either way, we've got to get in there. Our mission is to get her, whether she's in... Well, she's the ledger. We've got to get her. That's our job. So we've got to get
Okay.
in there first. So
Alright,
I would
open the
like
gate
to
then.
open the gate.
Yeah, I mean, it's no problem. So you basically push the gate to the side, which is like this. Then I can actually
Damn, I'm
take
strong.
this. Yeah, but it's opening from your part of the side.
Okay.
But the ghost of its shadow shall remain.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of just kneel down or crouch down and look at the girl and just go, "Hello. Do you want to get out of here?
You hear a faint voice that is very, very dark, much darker than her appearance. And as she's talking, a lot of saliva is being produced, and it's making no gibberish sense to you at all. None of you.
She's just speaking gibberish.
Yeah, it's definitely a language, but none of you are understanding it.
Okay.
Well, I've got a suggestion. It's not the most PC suggestion I'm ever going to come out with. Why don't we just knock her out and take her home?
Sounds good."
Are you? Why don't you see if she'll come with us willingly? So she doesn't just try and carry her, especially if there's anything else useful near we want to take. I mean,
I
this
look
was going to
around
be a quick
the
snatch
prison
and grab thing.
cell with a bucket of blood.
Do you want the blood?
Nah.
Well, I'm
Right.
more thinking like in some of these other rooms. Like we haven't checked anything else yet.
Yeah, well, I don't think the idea of checking these rooms while we're carrying this little thing is a good idea.
All right.
Because she could get in trouble, she could get killed, and I don't want that. I mean, she's still a kid.
That bleeds fire.
Yeah. That's even more reason to not hang around with it longer than we have to. We can always come back here and clear it out on one of our, like, we can have a team building exercise
I like
day.
days
What we
off.
do is we come back, we chill the hell out. We've already cleared this place. Let's go in and have a look and see what everything else is. Why don't we do that on one of our off days?
I'm
Let's
sure
get
they
this
won't change the
thing-
guards or check what happens to the other guys
Yeah, but then
before
it's
that.
just another practice round of, like, getting you used to being a part of a real team. And we'll just come in here and we'll clear it every now and then and we'll get new shit out of it. It's fine.
No. Well, what's all right then? If you want to bring her along,
Alright.
What?
Small tiny child. I'll give it a kind of poke in the shoulder.
Yeah, she is chained, and she is making the very, very dark, gutturing kind of voice that makes no sense.
Can you nod yes or no?
She doesn't respond to it, but she's talking, and as she's moving with her hands, the chains kind of follow, and you realize that she could probably move towards you. Her length is basically to the door a little bit, but not all the way to it. And she kind of moves around with her hands and explaining stuff, but it sounds like more possession than anything.
Mm-mm.
Like a really demonic kind of possession.
okay. I don't think I speak any language that would be helpful here, and I don't have the comprehend languages spell. I don't think.
Mm-mm.
Those were the ones I went for.
Alright. Knock her out, because I can't seem to make any sense of this, and she doesn't seem to be responding to us properly.
Or why do you gesture her to come towards you? See if that works. I'll try just wait. Like I'm in the corridor, so I'm just gonna like wave at her and just like gesture, let her come towards us, and see if that works.
Yeah, so she's still chained. So she stands up. She's chained to the ankles and hands, and as she walks, you have these 4 chains to the wall.
Okay, so yeah, it looks like if you gesture simple sign language with her, she might cooperate.
Alright, I designate you in charge of small child because... Alright, I'll try and break some of these chains open.
Alright. Why don't you just try like unpick her manacles or something?
I'm pretty sure that's what she was going to do.
Well, no, the way she said break the chains, I kind of imagined her going over there and just trying to like hit them with a hammer or something.
I don't have a hammer.
Thump them.
I can't
wait.
destroy them with a rapier.
Well, he's got the crowbar. He could, use that, I guess. If it.
I had thieves' tools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, roll for the thief tools.
Sweet. 13.
Yeah, as long as you're going over like 10, it's not rocket science kind of locks on them. Very small entry, simple ones. You kind of make them go away, and she starts walking with. Do you guys move around or trying to do something?
I reckon we should probably leave the way we came in.
Yeah, we know that way.
One thing I'm going to do is as we go through, I'm going to activate my ghostly gaze so I can see through solid objects up to 30 foot. So I can see into rooms as we go past to see if there's anything in there that would be useful.
Yeah, I'll do this. You can kind of go in here and see what is here.
Okay.
And as she comes out, I'm guessing you're giving her some sort of leeway.
Well, yeah, we're leaving her with Boris. Right.
Yeah, but you're basically not keeping too much close proximity to her. You're kind of ushering her to come with you.
Yeah, we're urging her to follow us along.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not like kind of holding her hand or anything.
Yeah.
Perhaps I'll take the rear and you guys go up front.
Yeah, good plan.
I'll use the eyes. You stay behind Boris.
Yeah, and as you're walking away, you hear something that is starting up. Sounds like a multiple sparkles, like electricity hitting each other. And as you're looking at it, she looks up on you. She's just in rags, basically. And she kind of looks back, and she says something yet again, just gurgling, really dark voiced nonsense. And she starts to walk back into the room, and she falls to her knees, and she's kind of starting to burn. Huge flames covering her body. And that is a good break.
Sweet. The girl is on fire.
The girl is on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Tempted to cast a spell magic on her, see if I could like suppress what she's doing.
Yeah, we'll see what happens next time.
Yeah, so I guess we're gonna leave it till next session. Yeah.
Yep, because yep, that's all my prep time going.
You don't have prep time. You don't need it. You're
Yes,
good.
I do.
No.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Someone's making me use Roll20, and it's terrifying and horrible.
Yeah, but I'll help you. It's no problem. So yeah, we will leave off from here and this crew and walk over to my channel with the second crew.
Cool.
But first, we will listen into you guys, what you thought about the startup and your characters and so forth. I'm gonna leave it to Vali to run around and ask what you want to ask.
Yeah. So I guess we'll start off with Tarracon. Where the fuck did we find you, and what did you enjoy? We'll have no
Find me
negativity
here on
today.
Sunday and here on Monday.
Yes,
That's
you're here
about it.
tomorrow. Yes, that's gonna be fun.
Why do you always sound so surprised at that?
I don't know. It's not that I forget we have Mondays. It's just that I don't know. By the time we get to this point in the week, I'm like, oh yeah, we do a thing tomorrow.
Yeah, you do things every day.
Monday's next week. Oh yeah, that's tomorrow.
Yeah, that's tomorrow. Oh, shoot, yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed everything about it. Really, it's especially driving my weapon through some person's chest. That was quite entertaining. And it's quite unusual to actually play a spellcaster. I need to get into more of the religious part of the cleric. Actually try and follow that a bit more. Because at the moment I'm just using it as a kind of do damage.
There's some damage. Please damage
Pretty much.
things. That's cool. It's fine. Tech.
I am Tech. You can find me at tech_BTP on the Twitters, and you can find me at gbstudios.co.uk and bloodthirstpuppets.co.uk. And yeah, it's been fun playing my arrogant little dude again. I enjoyed kind of bigging myself up at the pub. That was quite a good laugh. And yeah, the first time I used Eldritch Blast, I just melted someone in half, which was awesome. Followed by me rolling a 1 and a 2 to hit the next guy, which really kind of sucked. But yeah, it's quite enjoying it. I managed to do a religion check, which I really suck at, and crit it, resulting in less than 20. But yeah, it's kind of fun. Enjoying the character so far, and yeah, it's every now and again I kind of encounter and think, oh, maybe I should have gone for the comprehend languages perk, but we'll see how it goes.
Skag, what about you, dude?
Yeah, I thought that you would probably be taking it slower, meaning that I thought you would be more cautious and kind of clearing rooms. But yeah, F clearing. Let's just go.
Good job, dude.
It's look at all the loot in all those rooms. No, screw the loot. Charge to the end of the dungeon.
It's we could pick up all this loot, but what if the thing is ginormous? What if this ledger takes 3 people to carry? We don't fucking know.
I love the idea of the loot is a gigantic gold-plated harp. And how are we going to carry this out of here? We'll find a way.
Exactly.
Strap it to the ledger.
Well, but then, I just had this terrible idea that we turn up there and we have this little as a little Tommy truck thing, the little things that you put along behind you, and we've already filled it to the brim with loot. I'm like, we actually can't fit anything else in here. We can go home and come back again. Let's just not do that.
So yeah, I thought you would be a little bit slower, but I do have it so that everything is going according to plan. I mean, now we have it still working the next episode, so that's no problem. Yeah, and we will join up on the channel in the Chatteroo in about, I would say, 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, sure.
Good luck.
Seems like that's
Have
gonna
fun
work.
with that.
For my own part, you can find me on Twitter at blood_BTP. Other than that, it's either here or in Skag's channel or on a good. Just check my. It's just so much easier to find out what the fuck I'm doing. Yeah, we're going to be going over to Skag's channel in apparently 13 minutes. That's not going to be the case. We're going to go over there shortly. This game was hilarious. I think my favorite part was the burn coming out of Terracon, which was possibly my favorite thing of this entire episode.
I've already forgotten it. What was it?
I can't remember. I can't tell the difference between S and J or something.
Yeah, it's the fact that you're so old and basically a corpse is well, at least I know the difference between X, Y, and Z. I'm like, that's just too good.
Junior and senior.
Yeah, junior and senior. To be fair, we could just rename our group that. The Rise of Ruse, we're kicking ass. Ruse is awesome. Team Ruse for the win. We're about to see how well Bellum do over on Skag's channel. Other than that,
not as well as us.
Actually, I don't think you need to thank anyone. No, that's it. We're out. We're good to go. Is there anything anyone wants to shout into the void before we piss off and go over to Skag's channel?
No, I'm good. Have fun, guys.
She is on fire.
On that wonderful note, good night. We'll see you on Skag's channel. Bye.
Bye.